Hi there, my name is Joseph Paul. I'm a spiritual practitioner back again for another opportunity for us to meet halfway in this space together. If this is your first time seeing my face or first time running across one of my videos, welcome. It's great to feel and sense your energy in this space. Do yourself a favor, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and click the like button, comment down below so that way I know that you are locked in for that spiritual growth, that spiritual mindfulness that we like to practice throughout our journey here in this lifetime. And hopefully, I can become a friend. Hopefully, I can become another person that you've included in your small circle or maybe large circle of friends, peer groups, whatever you want to call it. To help assist you or to help just be supportive of your process of becoming who you are meant to be in this lifetime. All that being said, if you're wondering, like, what are we doing here? What is the point of this video? Usually every Wednesday, I give us an opportunity, or they give us an opportunity for us to meditate, for us to practice mindfulness, to practice hypnosis, whatever really comes up based off of whatever the energy was like during the week. And it is a beautiful experience, to say the least. Last week's video was pretty nice. We were able to channel our higher selves, really connect to what our sense of confidence and purpose really felt like and is like for ourselves. If you missed out on that video, it's probably down below somewhere or it's going to pop up on the screen so you can get a chance to take a look at it when you have the opportunity to. And do yourself a favor as well. If you missed this week's collective reading, that's probably going to pop up around here or wherever I decide to put it in the editing process. Because this week, for me at the very least, has been I don't know. It's like last week we came out of retrograde. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. See, this is why this is why I have to take a look at the date before I even press the record button because seriously, sometimes we go through stuff and it feels like it's been a whole lifetime or it's been like a whole month, and it's really just been only about a couple of days. With everything going on in the world today, it is August 13th, 2025. Hopefully a couple years in the future, we can look back on this video and say, oh, it was tough then, but, we made it through. But with everything that is going on in the world, sometimes our brains are so good at just making it seem like it's dragging on. It never ends. And we get that because it's really a defense mechanism. It's an opportunity for us to figure out how to survive. But in this space that we're creating together collectively in this video at the very least, we don't have to live like that. And today specifically is our opportunity to really just be present, really focus in on what we are grateful for, what we are presently aware of, and wanting to be sitting with or be still with right now because everything, everywhere, all at once. And if you get the reference, you get the reference. But I say all that to say, on the 11th, we came out of retrograde energy, and I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I don't know if it was just me, and I saw some stuff online, but it was like, the people were saying this was probably one of the most intense retrogrades that we've ever experienced. And the math is mathin', right? Like we're basically going through a revolution globally. And at the same time, a lot of us are receiving upgrades and spiritual downloads and just really being put in a place to evaluate where are we spiritually, personally, on the personal level, and where do we want to be, and how are we going to get there? And maybe that might mean upgrading our spiritual practice. Maybe that might mean just upgrading our gifts and our abilities and whatever it is that Source has for us in the grand scheme of things. Like, it just seemed like retrograde was just boom, boom, one thing after another. Like, here's another opportunity to realign. Here's another opportunity to realign. Because, at least for me, the way I look at retrogrades is that it's not a form of punishment. It's not a thing where, like, you are being tortured and it's just like a miserable experience because unexpected things come up and it's supposed to test your limits, right? Like, I don't like saying it's a test. What I really enjoy saying, and the perspective I encourage you to consider, is that it's the universe giving you an opportunity to realign with what your true essence is, to really stand on business, so to speak, on what your values and what your morals are, I guess, right? Really find your center and come back into alignment with what centers you, what grounds you, what your purpose is, and you're going to be pushed in one direction or another to really test you. And there goes that word again. I know, but to really just ask you, really encourage you to find out whether or not what you say you want is what you really want with yourself, and whether or not like being tested or being frustrated at the post office or in traffic or having some random occurrence like change your entire schedule for the day is what is necessary to get you to that point, then so be it. But really, the universe is just asking us, please make sure that you come back to yourself, come back to source, right? Because that is the only way you're going to make it through this chaotic energy. And some of us learn the hard way, and some of us just, we take it in stride. And now, here we are, August 13th. It's been 2 days since retrograde is seemingly moving away, and some lingering effects here and there. And at least for me, like this week has been a combination of feeling really motivated, feeling very excited about where I'm headed and focusing in on the goals, moving away from the obstacles. And then it's also been, wait a minute, I don't know if I can do this. Like, this is really my time to shine. Like, are you kidding me? That means I actually have to do the work? Oh, God, I don't want to do the work. I'm good just resting here. I don't want to have to do anything extra. So if that's you, let me know down below in those comments. Let me know how your retrograde really has been and what how it wrapped up to be. I'd love to just converse with you, just kind of find out how I can be best supportive of you moving forward. And do yourself a favor, again, just check in with that reading I gave on Monday, just 2 days ago, on the day we were coming out of that retrograde, to see if any of that energy is something or that you've been experiencing so far, if you're considering maybe that might be what you experience later on in the week. But whatever the case may be, I'm glad that you're here. We are now in a space where we have an opportunity to reflect on these past couple of days, really just be mindful and in as to where we want the next couple of weeks to go, so that way when we move into fall, that fall solstice or that fall equinox actually, we have an opportunity to plant the seeds because we're coming from a place of being grounded, centered, very aware of what we want our harvest in the spring to look like. It is important to consider that we move alongside the seasons as they as they show up and appear on the global level or wherever we live in the part of the world, right? I live on the West Coast, and right now we're getting ready. Well, excuse me, let me be more specific. I live in the Northern Hemisphere on the West Coast, and living in the Hemisphere on the West Coast. Ooh, excuse me, we are starting to gear up and move into our fall equinox. And that is exciting because people are going back to school. They're getting ready for, pulling out those fall outfits and getting ready for pumpkin spice lattes. Are those things still a thing? Like, like, are you pumpkin spice latte? Like, hashtag pumpkin spice latte in the comments below. Let me know. Are you a pumpkin spice latte fan? Because if you are, I'm sure you're really excited for the fall to come around. But again, all that being said, we're moving into the fall, and just as the seasons show us, the if things start to die or to wither off, like the leaves start to fall, literally, and that's when the farmers start to prepare their fields for planting new seeds so that way in the spring they can harvest them and be ready for summer bounty, right? And so the question we really want to ask ourselves are what are we doing to prepare for the fall where we're shedding old ideas, shedding old belief systems, right? We're moving into a place where we are allowing ourselves to prepare intentionally how we're going to move through the end of this season, moving through winter, having that time to hibernate, reflect, really consider how the year went for us, and then moving into spring, where hopefully we've done some inner work to bring forth a brand new harvest, right? To bring forth things in our life that we really have been craving, desiring, wanting, wishing for, right? And this is something to be excited about. It's something to get really amped up about. And I think really what I wanted to focus on and what they're calling me to bring into our meditative space for today is to at least slow down, right? Everything is going on outside of ourselves, and we're so preoccupied with preparing for the worst and making sure that we're stocked up on this and that we're mentally able to just compartmentalize so that way we can get through our jobs, we can get through being the family caretaker, we can get through just paying the bills, right? And we rarely are taking time to just sit back, maybe grounding ourselves, whether or not that's going out to nature or whether or not that's just, turning off the phone and just laying on our bed, like whatever the case may be, to just find center is kind of hard to do because everything around us is saying, no, 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 pay attention. Something's going on. You got to know how to stay and navigate this political landscape, and what is that really doing for us energetically? It's not really giving us an opportunity to just be still. And when we think about being still, like, are we still thinking in our mind and our body is still? When we think about being still, does that mean we're not making any choices? We're just pondering? If we're being still, does that mean that we are taking a siesta, right? We're not working, we're not preoccupied, we're not eating, we're not doing anything, we're just resting? Your still might look differently than somebody else's still, but still, there's that word, the invitation that Source is asking us to receive and accept and to move forward through is being still, being present, being mindful. And so, as we're considering what that looks like for us, and maybe some words come to mind, some images come to mind, right? Maybe a feeling of peace, perhaps, allowing that to come up as we consider what that is for right now. Give yourself permission to really just put the phone down if you're watching this on your phone, or move the laptop off your lap, put the computer in front of you, and find a place where you can relax. You can spread out your arms, your legs, maybe starfish it. And let's just give ourselves the permission to just close the eyes if you feel comfortable. But even if that is not a choice we want to move forward on, just at least allowing the body to find a place to relax and be center in. And as you're doing that and allowing the body to just get acclimated to where you are, maybe you might notice the air current in the room. Maybe you might notice a subtle lightness or heaviness in the body somewhere or another. And giving yourself permission to adjust the body if you need to, making sure that head, neck, and shoulders are supported here. And while you're allowing the body to just be, we're inviting you now to start connecting with the breath, feeling that gentle rise and fall of the chest with every breath in, breathing in those positives. And with every exhale out, just releasing all that tension, all that stress found or stored, trapped in the body. And one more time, feeling that rise of the chest with the breath in, holding for just a moment or two. And when you're ready, releasing with a long, nice, gentle exhale. Good. Now, you can open your eyes if you feel like it is time for you to. And if you kept your eyes open and you still engaged in that practice with us, welcome back. Either way, welcome to this space. And when you were participating, if you were just simply noticing still, what kinds of thoughts came up for you? Did your mind start to think about your to-do list? Were you present and fully aware of how your body was receiving and responding? Or was this another exercise that felt like home for you? Wherever you might be in your mindfulness practice, know that you can always return to a place of being calm and being centered by giving yourself permission to step away from whatever routine activity you're doing and focus in on that breathing. As a clinical hypnotherapist, I have had the opportunity to go through lots and lots of training, lots of practicums, lots and lots of client sessions, and even sessions for myself where mindfulness has become a number one tool for me. What is mindfulness, you might ask? Mindfulness is really giving ourselves the permission, giving our mind and our body the permission and the opportunity to be present, to be aware of that very moment. The moments that you find yourself in when you choose to go within the body. Mindfulness is an opportunity to practice using the senses, sight, smell, taste, touch, and giving those senses room to grow, expand, shrink, and retract as they see fit in the moment by moment. So you might close the eyes and start to notice the sounds in the room. You might start to notice the sensations in the body. You may also notice how you feel sitting or rubbing or laying against any kind of surface, including the clothing on your body. And all of the senses, allowing them to come forward rather than suppressing them, gives our body and our brain an opportunity to say, I am safe. Now, if you try to practice mindfulness in a busy area, even better because it then still grounds us in some way, shape, or form. But if your goal is to completely relax and reset, try doing it in a quiet space, right? And so with this mindfulness practice, really the intention is to get us out of that fight or flight mode, to get us out of the heightened anxiety, to get us out of the protecting ourselves mode, and to again bring us back into center, bring us back down into mind, body, and soul. Now, as a spiritual being having a human experience, it is natural for us to want to engage the body to feel everything there is to feel in the environment that we're in. And we do it so easily, so naturally that when we go into that fight or flight mode, we're on hyper alert. We are looking for any and all ways to protect the self. But given everything that's going on in the world and given everything that we have experienced in our lifetime, being on edge and being anxious for extended periods of time doesn't do us well. It's why people fall into those vices. They doom scroll. They go for binge eating or binge drinking, right? They engage in practices that aren't necessarily the best coping mechanisms, but still allow us to feel like we're relaxing or we're in control. But what really is needed, what is necessary for our body to get into that relaxed, completely relaxed and release state is by practicing that mindfulness so that way we can acknowledge to the brain and to the body we are safe. If you are in control of what you're noticing, sensing, feeling, then you are in control of the thoughts that come and go afterward. It takes practice. It doesn't happen overnight, but mindfulness can really be a tool that you can employ whenever you're feeling on edge. So, what we just did, just by connecting to the breath, feeling the gentle rise and fall of the chest, feeling and experiencing the air current around us, maybe sensing or noticing any sounds in the room around us, feeling the sensation of our body touching the clothing, touching the surface beneath us, is another form of engaging, well, is the form of engaging in that mindfulness practice. Now, seems like you did it just fine. Whether your eyes were open or not, you were able to get into that mindful meditative state. Now, we're about to do it again. And this time, we're going to add a little bit of guided meditation to that. Because, again, noticing how our week has been going so far, noticing how the world is wanting us to react to the media, to the news, to all the kinds of things that, the world likes to project onto us. Maybe this is the first time in your week where you're getting the opportunity to reset and recharge. Meditation is wonderful, but many people fall prey to feeling like it needs to be done a certain way and then they don't want to meditate at all. But mindfulness gives you the permission to notice where your body is located, how your body feels, and also, I forgot to add and mention that it gives us permission to notice the thoughts that are coming up in our mind. Some meditative practices, they encourage you to clear the mind, they encourage you to think of a certain thing and stay focused on that. And those are great tools and practices to engage in. But when people start with that, they realize maybe meditation isn't for me. So, what I encourage us to try today is to practice this mindfulness, okay? We're gonna do the same thing of what we just tried, what we just practiced just a couple of minutes ago, and I'm going to add in a guided meditation so that way you can give yourself more permission to practice this in your week throughout the rest of your week. And once we finish up, let me know in the comments how it was for you. Go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already, and we'll get ourselves going for this mindfulness practice as well as guided meditation. Now, again, you can put the phone off to the side, you can put the uh the laptop down in front of you. Get yourself nice and comfy this time. And if you didn't close your eyes before, let's try to close our eyes this time and give ourselves the permission to really immerse in the grounding exercise that Source is offering for us to practice today. Okay? So you can be stretched out wherever you are. Legs can be stretched out, arms can be extended, or they can be down in your lap, wherever you feel comfortable to place them. Again, trying to find the eyes coming to a close. And if not, that's okay for now. But as you begin noticing where you are, Give yourself permission to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath in through the nose, feeling that chest expand. Holding for just a moment or two and release. A nice, slow and steady exhale. One more time, a nice, deep, cleansing breath in through the nose, holding for just a moment or two, and releasing that gentle, nice exhale. Good. And again, now noticing the body, noticing those subtle sensations that come and go, making any adjustments that are necessary. Noticing how the skin feels against the clothing on your body. Still allowing the breath to continue as normal. Perhaps noticing the weight of the legs or the arms or both on the surface beneath you. Maybe noticing a subtle lightness as well. Perhaps hearing on either side of you light, subtle hum of the fan or the AC. Maybe noticing now how the body feels in this relaxing moment from head to toe. What do you smell in this moment? Maybe smelling a nice, gentle air freshener. Maybe noticing the smell of your pet nearby. Maybe noticing the smell of leftovers that got reheated for dinner. And now maybe shifting the attention and the awareness to the taste now. Maybe you had a nice, refreshing drink earlier and the aftertaste is still there. Maybe noticing that a mint might do me some good after having that chicken and onion salad. I think a mint is good for me here. And maybe shifting the attention now to any thoughts that come and go. Not chastising yourself for the thoughts, just noticing here in these moments as we're resting, finding center in mind and body, how the mind begins to wander, thinking about what we're going to do after this, or maybe just noticing how happy and calm we feel in this moment. Whatever you are noticing as it's coming and going, just allow the body, the mind to be present. Appreciating how these senses, this awareness, is letting you know you are a soul having a human experience. And in noticing anything and everything that comes up safely and calmly, maybe we can start to shift our focus now to sending gratitude from the heart center out into the universe, into our environment around us. Just simply grateful and appreciative that we do still have function to notice these things in the body and in the mind. Sending gratitude that in this moment, we are giving the body and the mind the space to find calm, to find peace and stillness. And remembering to remember that in this moment, we are not our thoughts, we are not our emotions. We are simply those souls having a human experience and how beautiful that experience is, how beautiful this experience is. And perhaps now expanding that gratitude even further, shifting the awareness now to knowing that at any time should we choose in our normal outer awake life, we can always come back to calm, always come back to center. Choosing mindfulness is a practice. It is a skill that we can expand on, that we can grow and get better at by engaging the breathing, the breath in and out, in and out, letting the body and the mind know we are safe and in control. We have agency. And in engaging the breathing, we are giving the body space, the mind space to notice the things around us, the things within us that give us the signal that we are alive. And knowing how good this energy feels to simply acknowledge and be present, maybe we can give ourselves permission now to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, move the wrists and the ankles. Taking in one nice deep cleansing breath in through the nose, holding for just a moment and release on the exhale all that stress and tension. And allowing the eyes to gently come back to open, noticing what's around. And this is a beautiful space to be in. So let me know in the comments below, now that we are back and just feeling the energy of calmness, serenity. Let me know in the comments below how that was for you, to just take that moment to be present, to be mindfully aware. And I wonder if through the rest of your week, you can give yourself permission to try that again, just being present, being mindfully aware. Because when we give ourselves permission to disconnect, to ground and center back in the body through mindfulness, we give ourselves permission and the room to expand and grow even more, grow even farther than before. You are becoming your best self each and every day. And by practicing mindfulness, you're giving yourself the healthy space to get to where you want to be. So, all that being said, I am glad that we had this opportunity to explore and to meet halfway together in this space. Again, if this was your first time seeing me, first time catching one of my videos, do yourself a favor, click that subscribe button down below, click that like button, engage in the comments, let us know what your experience was like. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to continue the conversation. How about you come back this Friday? I was going to say next week. How about you come back this Friday? Because then we'll be able to do some Reiki energy healing together, as I am a certified Reiki level 2 practitioner as well. I'd love to send you some positive healing energy. We'll see what's on the agenda for Friday when we get there. But until next time, know that I love you. Know that I care for you sincerely, and know that you are well on your way to becoming who you are meant to be in this lifetime. My name is Joseph Paul. I'm a spiritual practitioner, and I'll see you soon. I don't even know if that was a good ending. I have no idea.